So up to now we have discussed about the SQL and its clauses and its queries. Coming to the where and obey order by class. Select ISBN, title, editor name, copyright. From we need to use the titles where the title lies and how to the program. Order by the title ASC, which returns the ISBN, title, editor name, and copyrights of each book in the title table that has a title editing with how to program. So here coming to the next one, um, merging data from the multiple tables, which is known as inner joining. Database designers often split the related data into separate tables to ensure that a database does not store data redundantly. For example, we use an author INSB table, which we have discussed before. Store the relationship between author and their corresponding titles. If we did not separate this information into individual tables, we would need to include the author information with each entry in the title table. This would result in the database storing duplicate author information for authors who wrote the multiple books. Often it is necessary to merge data from multiple tables into a single result, referred as a join the table. This is specified by an inner joint operator, which merges rows from two tables by matching value in the column that are common to the table. The basic form of the inner joint is so here the basic form shows how the inner joint looks. Select the column name and column name 1 and name 2 from table 1 and inner join table 2. So the example is given as we have to select the two columns and two tables, which should be from the different one, and we can select each column on one table and one column on second table. So after merging these two tables, here we can see the table 1 in the table 1 dot column name and table 2 dot column name. So by giving this instruction, these two can be merged as one table. The on clause of the inner join specifies the column from each table that are compared to determine which row are merged from example which row are merged. For example, for example, the following query produces a list of author accomplished by the ISBN for book writing for each author. So this is the example for that. Select the first name, last name, and ISBN from author, inner joint author ISBN on which is given as author ID and addressed by the last name and first name. So that is the ordered by the last name and first name refers to the query. The query merges for the first name and the last name column from the table from the table author with the ISBN column from the author ISBN, sorting the result in the ascending order by the last name of the first name. Note the use of syntax table name. Column name in the on class. This is the syntax called a qualified name. Specifies the columns from each table that shows a comparator to join the table. The table name syntax is required if the column has the same name in the both table. The same syntax can be used in any SQL statements to distinguish the columns in the different tables that have the same name in some systems. Table name qualified with the database name can be used to perform cross database queries. As always, the queries can continue an order by clause, which is shown in the following figure. The result of the preceding query, an ordered query, the last name and the first name, which has to be mentioned properly as a clause. So this is a sample table about what we have discussed up to now, and here we can see the merging of first and second table and the author name and first name and last name, and the ISBN. We have given an ISBN here. This is used as a query. And coming to the next one, insert statement. The insert statement is a statement inserts a row into a table. So insert statement inserts a row into a table. The basic form of this statement is insert into the table and column 1, column 2 and column name n, the value 1 and value 2 and so on, value n, where table name is the table in which to insert the row. The table name is followed by a column separated list of the column name in parentheses, and the value of every column of the table is in the correct order. The list of the column name is followed by the SQL keyword value and a common separated list of the value in parentheses. We are coming to the SQL. So here we can see the use bridge technology to access a database. JDBC, ODBC. Bridge is an example, which is type 1, type 2 and type 3. And relational database, table, record, file column, primary key and query record set. SQL overview, SQL keywords. Simple form of select query. Where clause, these are the where clauses. See here we have given the clauses, conditional operations. Select author ID, first name, last name. So coming to the, as we have discussed about update statement before, coming to the delete statement, and I'm trying to show you the delete statement here. So this is the delete from statement. SQL delete statement removes rows from a table. Its basic form is delete from table name where criteria. Where table name is the table from which to delete. The operational where clause specifies the criteria used to determine which row to delete. If this clause is omitted, all the table rows are deleted. The deleted statement is a delete from author where last name is equal to John and the first name is equal to SUE. Delete row deletes the row for SUE John in the author table. If we know the author in advance of deleting operator, where the clause can be simplified as following, which is the table should the table can be shown like this. So this is about the delete from statement. And coming to the next topic, it is a manipulating database with JDBC. Instructions of installing MySQL and MySQL collection. MySQL Community Editor is an open source database management system that executes and many platforms including Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. Complete information about MySQL is available from www.mysql.com. The example in the selections 28.8 and 28.9 manipulate MySQL database using MySQL 5.58. The latest release at this time of this writing installing MySQL. So these there have been some websites in the internet so that we can install the MySQL. So coming to the introductions of setting up MySQL user account. So we all know how to select MySQL. Creating database book in MySQL. For each MySQL database we provide a SQL script in a SQL file that set up the database, and in its table we can execute these scripts in the MySQL monitor. In this chapter examples directory you will find the scriptbook.sql to create the book database. For the following steps, we assume that the MySQL server is still running to execute the book.sql script. Open a command prompt and use the cd command to change the directories to locate the certain book. To locate that certain the book.sql script. 2. Start the MySQL monitor by typing by MySQL/h localhost/u detail/p. The /p is represented as the option prompt user for the passwords for the detailed user account when prompted. Enter the password detail. Execute the script by typing sourcebook/sql. This creates a new directory named books in the server data directory. Locates by the default on which at C program data MySQL/MySQL server 5.5 data. This new directory contains the book database. Type the command exit. To terminate the MySQL monitor, you are now required to proceed to the first JDBC example. Manipulating the JDBC with database with JDBC. This section presents two examples. The first introduces how to connect a database and query. The second demonstrates how to display the result of query in JTable. Connecting to and query a database. The example of figure 28.23 performs a simple query on the book database that retrieves the entire author table and displays the data. The program illustrates the connecting to the database, querying the database, and processing the result. The discussion that follows represents the key JDBC aspects of a program. How to start the MySQL server, configure a user account, and create the book database. These steps must be performed before executing the program. So this is the program here. The database URL is also given. So these are all the database URLs here. Line 3 to 8 imports the JDBC interface and the class from packing the Java SQL used in this program. Line 13 declares a string constructing for the database URL. This identifies the name of the database to connect to as well as information about the protocol used by the JDBC drive. Method main 16 to 69 connects to the book database query. The database displays the result of the query and close the database connection. In the past version of the Java program, we are required to were required to load an opportunity database drive before connecting to a database JDBC 4.0. The higher support automatic drives discovers you are no longer required to the locate required to load the database drive in the advance. To ensure that the program can locate the database drive class, you must include the class locations in the program class path. Where you execute the program MySQL, you include the file mysql connector java 5.1.14 bin.java. So this is the Java class here. Connecting to the database. Line 26 to 27 creates the connection object refers by the connection and object that implements the interface connection. Manage the connection be treated the Java program and the database. Connecting to the object enable the program to create SQL systems that manipulates the database. The program installation connects with the result of a call to static method get connected by the class drive manager. Class drive manager with which attempts to connect to the database specified by the URL method get connected to the task 3 arguments as a string that specifies the database URL as a database URL as a string that specifies the username. So coming to the next topic, so this is the RDMS and URL prompts. Coming to here, JDBC classes for the DB connection, Java SQL drives, database URLs, JDBC making connections. Creating a statement for executing a query. Line 30 involves the connection method to create the statement to obtain an object that implements the interface statement. The program uses the statement object to subset of SQL statements to the database. Line 33 to 34 uses the statements object executing query method to submit a query that selects all the author information from the table author. The method returns an object that implements the interface result set and contains the query results. The result set method enables the program to manipulate the query result. Process a query result set. Line 37 to 50 process the result set. Line 37 obtains the met data for the result set as a connection. As a result set metadata object, the metadata describes the result set connections. Programs can use the metadata programmatically to obtain the information about the result sets, common name and type. Line 38 uses the result set metadata method get column connection to the retrieve the number of columns in the result line. Java SE7 automatically closing the connection statements and resulting as a Java SE7 interface the connection statement and the results each extend the auto closable interface. So you can use the objects that implements these interface with the new drive with a resource statement, which was introduced in the section 11.13 in the folder. For the example of figure 28.23, the subfolder Java 7 version contains a version of the example that uses the try with resources. Statement to allocate the connection, statement and to result set object. These objects are automatically closed at the end of the try block or in an exemption occurs while executing the code in the try block.